Hello everyone. My name is Zhenlin Gao, and I work at the Animation School, Shenzhen Polytechnic, as a faculty member. Okay, good news today. I'm teaching you how to be a creative person, right? I'm going to show you this afternoon the methods we use in the classroom to train our students in terms of their... So I'm going to start with a conversation with my son a few days ago. I had a dialogue with my son about a snake. I asked my son, where can you see a snake? Can you see a snake on a grassland? Yes, you can, he answered. Can you see a snake on a public road? Yes, you can. I said, no, you can't, because the snake, any snake walk on across a street will be squashed by car wheels. That's common sense for adults. But the son replies me with this. A snake can use the pedestrian crossing, so it won't be squashed by a car. Okay, that's his idea, because I taught him how to use pedestrian crossing, so to protect himself. And he used this fight back to me, say, no, you are wrong, because the snake that cross on a pedestrian crossing will be safe. So you can see a snake that cross across the pedestrian crossing. So that surprised me, because I have never ever heard any adults tell me such answer. So I was amazed at how creative a children can be, even it's just 3 years old. That makes me thinking, why when become older, we sometimes think ourselves become less creative. Okay, that is because as we developed, as we grown up, we received lots of signals from different kinds of policies, rules, and traditions, which makes you think that you should think this way or that way. So there's a lot of rules, right? So today I'm telling you that actually everyone can be creative. Okay. In 2012, World Intellectual Property Organization has released this data. As you can see from the lines, China in 2012 has overtaken United States to become the #1 in terms of the intellectual property application. So what does it mean? Does that mean we are #1 in the world in terms of creativity because we got the most intellectual property application in the world in 2012? Whoa, that's worth to celebrate. So we are a creative country. And another number is that we got $12.6 billion in animation production value in China. If you measure it with your personal assets, that's a huge number, right? And also we got the #1 in terms of the animation production time, which is over 222,000 minutes. So it's also the #1 in the world. So does that mean we are a creative country? Everyone is creative? No. The answer, I'm afraid I'm telling you that the answer is no, because in these numbers, 222,000 minutes, a large number of animation clips are useless or rubbish or be stored in somewhere nobody never seen before. Okay, so this number actually is big in size, but in terms of quality and the value, it's still not many. Okay, so if you compare it with our neighboring country, Japan in 2009 has reached $200 billion in terms of production value. And our country in 2012 in China only reached 12.6 billion. So it's about 1/16th of Japan's production. And according to the data, it's even less than Walt Disney, a single company alone. So what that means? That means our production value is very low, but the size, the minutes, the general amount is huge. Okay, so that means we still got lots of work to do to fill this huge gap. Okay, we got the minutes, but we don't have so much value in it. Why that happens? Okay, I keep asking myself why that happens. Because if we trace it back to 1980s or 70s when we were grown up, by that time in China, there's a very famous slogan, is that if you learn mathematics, physics, and chemistry well, you can go anywhere, okay? So lots of people were misguided by this slogan, like myself. I took the engineering class, and all the way up till my master's degree, I was like pursuing the only correct answer and fight it against numerous number of exams. Okay, so I feel that my creativity is being killed. Okay, so when I become a lecturer in animation school, I really noticed that we need to do a lot of things to improve this, particularly to help our students to ignite their creativity instead of following our old path, which is to study mathematics, physics, and chemistry only. Okay, so instead of pumping resources, I think we should more pumping on ideas, on people's idea, right? So in the class, I keep telling my students to think more. Don't just use software tools or certain skills a lot. To think more. Okay, that's the basic idea behind, right? So what is creativity then? Creativity to me is a use of imagination and problem solving. You have to use your imagination to resolve problems and find out different solutions and choose the best one. So if that's the case, everyone can be creative. Okay, so if you regard yourself not so creative, try the following methods, what we use in our classroom. First, we use a lot of brainstorming. Brainstorming is important because it needs a lot of discussions. People will bouncing ideas between each other. And more importantly, brainstorming is like the starting stage of pumping your ideas. You put your ideas on a small piece of paper, stick on a whiteboard or anything like a wall. Then you can visualize your ideas. You can move it around. You can groupize it. Then you start using your ideas. Okay. So these are the pictures I took in the classroom. It's our students using brainstorming to discussing how to design a game level. Okay. Secondly is discussion. I found it's a quite typical problem to most modern young people because we have lots of mobile phones. We have software that allows you to talk to your friends, chat to your friends remotely. So we see more and more young people use software like QQ or software like WeChat to chat to your friends. But the efficiency of chatting is much lower than just sit face to face and discuss. Okay, so I encourage my students to discuss their ideas. After they form the brainstorm map, they will discuss their ideas based on the brainstorm outcome. Okay. So another point of discussion is the starting point of group work, teamwork. Okay. So if young people after they finish their schools, they go to work in companies. And in companies, you must know how to work with others. Otherwise, you can't just do things on your own. Okay, there are rarely such positions allow you to do things on your own. So discussions. Discussions is also important because when we designing something, when we try to generate something creative, we need to put it on a sketch or to make an initial plan. Okay, without this plan, you can just most of the problem of our students in most cases is like they will draw it directly on using the software package or use the computer to make their product. But actually, this is wrong. I'm telling them you have to make a brainstorm, then discuss it, and then make a story on that. Okay. For designers, I believe storytelling is important to everyone, to lawyers, to businessmen, to even to teachers. You have to make a good story to make people be interested to listen what you're saying. Okay, so story. I use these story cubes. We use these story cubes to ask a student form a story based on just random orders. Okay, let them throw the cubes and let them tell the story based on what they get. Sometimes we will also use the story card. The story card is a group of two groups of cards. One is the characters, and the other group are the events. Okay, so some randomly you choose characters and the events. You make a story. Okay, so story making is difficult for most beginners because in the class I have tried story making to my students. In the beginning they thought, oh, it's easy, but it's difficult because story, if you want to make a really good story, make people interested story, you have to practice time after time. Okay, so storytelling is after you get your ideas and make your initial plan, you use the storytelling methods to train how to make a story. And after you have a story, you got something already in your mind about what's going on. Then you can use something simple to make something really creative, like the lateral thinking practices. This is a practice asking the students to use apple, just apple, to make something creative. Okay, so you start from an apple and try to explore what you can do with an apple and try to expand the meaning of an apple. Okay, so an apple can be turned into a flower. An apple can be a bomb. An apple can be this is like an Olympic stadium in Beijing, yeah. And an apple can be a golden apple. Okay, so it's interesting concepts. Okay, an apple can be like this. Apple can be look like a pumpkin. An apple can look like beetles. Mother bird, is it called? Apple can make a story. For example, an apple suicide, and there is a tomb behind. Okay, so you can see that eventually you can see a lot of interesting happening. Okay, we start from some very simple things, then let the student expand their ideas. Then after that will be the Lego prototyping. Lego prototyping will use Lego tools to create. This is the Lego, to use Lego to create a game level, okay? This is the tower defensive level, tower defensive game, okay? And then use Lego to prototype a game, a Navy battle game. And some good teams will demonstrate this to others. Okay, in this process, they exchange ideas. And some courses, they use sculpture to train students three-dimensional feeling. And these are the works they do under supervision of their lectures. And also role-playing. Role-playing is like they have to experience what's the character like. Okay, you gain the experience and then you change your story to make it more real. Okay, role-playing. So we have, every year we have a role-playing cosmetic events like this for students to participate. Okay. Recently, we held a collaboration project with Canadian students over the internet. We don't see each other, but we work across the half globe and using the internet connection. Okay, we ask the students to do work together, trying to pump some more new ideas from their mind. Okay, I think the obstacles from being creative is industrialized education, massive people sitting in a class and trying to teach everyone one by one is impossible for teachers. Okay, so excessive exams, lots of exams. Exams are definitely killing the creativity. And negative attitudes. I don't know, I have no answer. Such thing is killing. And the lack of independence. Okay, so finally I'm going to end it with Thomas Edison's famous words: genius is 1% inspiration and 99% of perspiration, because you have to work hard to generate new good ideas. Thank you.